So, digital footprint. That's what happens when you lose 10 matches in a row and kick your PC so hard that you literally leave an imprint on the internet. And then you get taken to jail for domestic violence because the internet finally got sick of your bullshit. That's a stupid joke, and I'm a stupid person, as we've established already. I mean, I pretty much decapitated myself the last time I recorded. Yeah, that was annoying. If you hear a cat just running around back there, it's because there's an annoying creature in my presence. Now, digital footprint. It's the very thing that makes the terrible, stupid, awful joke that I just made right before something that I could regret in the future. Because of the fact that people will say, domestic violence isn't funny. You're stupid. Why would you ever say anything like that? You're a horrible person. You have no idea what people have gone through. And you're right. I have no idea what people have gone through. I have no idea the horrible conditions that some have endured. And it is with my utmost regret to say that I honestly don't care. It's a symptom of apathy, which is a symptom of just being around, being a person. It's a really difficult task, and a lot of people have different ways of coping with it. Some people numb themselves by drinking, some people numb themselves by getting high. I numb myself by detaching myself from human emotion and giving a shit. Anyway, digital footprint. It's what makes this entire video diary a bad idea. Because I call it a diary, but a diary is, supposed to tell people what you do in a day. What you have done, what you're going to do, maybe, even. Well, I guess it's not supposed to tell people. It's more supposed to just be personal, experiences and thoughts. So I guess it kind of is a diary, but I'm getting off topic. The point is, I'm kind of just putting myself out there into the world. Obviously, I don't expect this to get views, but that could be what ends up harming me in the end. I'm expecting this to be seen by no one. And it could be seen by, hypothetically, everyone. Now, everyone's not going to see it because I doubt anyone's going to enjoy it in the first place. But honestly, all it takes is a few people to see it. Because if a few people see it, then a few people will have heard everything that I've said in here. And what I've said in here is kind of some personal stuff. And do I regret it? Nah. Who gives a shit? It's kind of cathartic just saying all of this and putting it out there, although I have kind of just, waded into the proverbial ocean that I'm going to proverbially dive 80 feet into. Maybe. I might chicken out. It's a lot to be saying this to kind of the whole world and no one at the same time. I finally got my first video published, and it has 0 views. What a shock. That's because nobody wants to hear a mentally unwell person ramble on for 20 or 30 minutes. It is what it is. I am really stupid for cutting cutting my head completely out of the video in the last one. But you know, it is what it is. I actually deleted that for a second, and I was like, fuck it. I don't want to have to make it all again, and it's fine. Plug. Okay. Why you got a stool? What? Why you got a stool? Why do I have a stool? Yeah. Because of this. Home. Why not? Go away. And take this cat with you. She's annoying. Get out of here. You too, come on. You as well. Goodbye, close the door. What was I saying? I kind of figured he might eventually, you know, just burst in. He has no idea what's going on, though. Which brings me to my point, my new point. I have no idea what my old point was. And to be honest, I don't really care. Anyway. Yeah. So, I'm not going to be telling any of my friends or my family about the channel that I made and the subsequent video diary, because I don't want any of them seeing it. I don't know, maybe it makes it easier that it's strangers who are seeing it. But I don't want them going digging through all of my thoughts, which is kind of the reason digital footprint kind of defeats the purpose of everything that I just said. Because eventually, if it comes out, they'll be able to see everything that I ever said, including this. But maybe I'm just not ready to let them in. My mom told me to go to therapy. Said that I needed it, and I refused. But, you know, this may as well be a good enough replacement. See, I'm not of sound mind, so this sounds good enough in my head. Anyway. Yeah. The likelihood of any of my family finding it on their own, I mean, my brother could potentially find out that I'm making videos, because, I mean, he just walked in here. I kind of handled that well, don't you think? I'm talking to no one. But my brother watches YouTube, and he's like the only one in our family who watches YouTube. And he's pretty consistent with the creators he watches. If he saw me come across his timeline, he might be like, what? But then he would be like, okay, I don't care. He's not gonna watch my videos because he doesn't care. I hope that none of my family or friends get it recommended to them. But again, he's like the only one in my family who watches YouTube. My friends, it's kind of a different story, but not really. Most of my friends aren't avid YouTube watchers. They just kind of watch like a couple of specific creators for a couple of specific types of content. Specifically, some specific games. I've said a lot of specifics in this one specific time frame. I forgot the word for time frame. That's embarrassing. But anyway. Yeah, they probably wouldn't find it. If they did find it, then they would probably be more likely to watch everything in the catalog. Which is slightly worrying. There are some people I'm not friends with anymore who could see it. some of them don't even know who they are. They're delusional enough. They're delusional enough to think that we're still friends. We're not. I am kind of an asshole. A jackass, if you will. Oh well. No, but my closest friends are probably not gonna find this. And yeah, so that's cool. I just kind of, if anybody sees this, I want it to be people who either don't know me or who don't know me yet. Maybe I could start up a chat with somebody or something. Of course, if too many people watch my videos, like a snowball's chance in hell. Jeez, I suck at talking. If too many people watch my videos, like a snowball's chance in hell, then I may have to elect to not be starting too many personal relationships with people who watch this, because then that kind of gets complicated. There's so many people, so much to handle. Even a few hundred people would be a lot to handle. I'm gonna just bite my tongue. Just gonna bite my tongue. Anyway. No. I've always found the parasocial thing real weird. But it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, pretty much everyone who, like, indulges content, like, created by a person, is forming some sort of a parasocial relationship, because every piece of content put out there on the internet is a piece of somebody. And when you're engaging with it and consuming it because you enjoy it, you're engaging with and consuming a part of a person out there because you enjoy that part of them. So literally everyone who has ever watched a content creator and engaged with them in any form or fashion is parasocial. Some more so than others, but everybody's parasocial on, like, fucking YouTube and Twitch and shit. It's just how it is. Anyway, yeah. There will be consequences to the things that I say. Consequences just meaning that, like, things will happen because I'm saying things on here. Like, not necessarily anything bad will happen, not necessarily anything good will happen, but because I've decided to post these videos, something's gonna happen. I have no idea what. Kind of a scary thought. Something I say here, right now, while I'm being stupid, could affect me somehow later down the line. And I don't fucking care. It's just how it is. It's how it is with a lot of things. You can't see this whole flag, but it says "Welcome to my crib," and it has a menacing duck. It's very, very nice. Yeah. So, on another note, homeschooling. I liked homeschooling. It was great, and it was terrible at the same time. I like homeschooling because of the fact that I got a lot of work done. I got all of the credits I needed. I completed everything the way I was supposed to. But I also had a bit of difficulty getting everything done. Because while I enjoyed the idea of homeschooling and getting everything done on my own time and on my own terms, it kind of gave way to a lot of procrastination, to the point where I would be doing entire courses in the latter month of the year. And that's not fun. Because I have to cram so much and churn out so much work. It's really a hassle. I don't know. Homeschooling was kind of what I needed at the time when I started homeschooling, because when I started homeschooling was at the very beginning of 3rd grade. It was beginning of the year, maybe it was a month in, and essentially, I brought a pocket knife to my school. I said that it was to threaten a bully, but in truth, it was to escape, because I had a friend, and I talked to that friend, and we would fantasize all day and all night about how we were gonna get out of that school, how we were gonna make it out, and we were gonna go into, like, the city, and we were gonna go to fucking Target and whatever. And that was the most awesome idea to me. And I snuck safety scissors out there to try and cut the chain link fence, and so I had brought that pocket knife to cut the chain link fence. That wouldn't have worked, but I didn't know that at the time. The version of the story I tell pretty much everyone is just the version of the story that's the official version. It's that I took the knife to threaten the bully. Honestly, the real reason is way, way better than the reason I gave. But I was a pathological liar at that age. And actually, I got expelled from that school. It was a private school. But given the circumstances, because I did understand pretty well how to manipulate social, circumstances, and I understood pretty well how things worked. And so actually, I did end up getting unexpelled from the school, because the bullying problem that I cited as the reason for my sudden act of desperation was a bullying problem that had been known about, let's see, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, kindergarten, and yeah, okay. So, yeah, the bullying problem that I had cited as the reason for my desperation was a problem that had been going on 5 years. And multiple times had the teachers and the faculty been notified over and over about the bullying problem. And funny, nothing was ever even attempted to be done about the bullying problem. They knew full well about the bullying problem. They never stopped the bullying problem. So the very bully that I threatened, or said I was going to threaten, was allowed to continue bullying children for going on 5 years. And all of a sudden, the private school went and looked at their chances, their odds, the chances of winning in the court of public opinion when an 8-year-old was spurred to threaten a bully with a knife because of the fact that he had been being bullied for the better part of 5 years with no teachers or faculty making any attempts to stop it, being expelled for trying to stop the problem from happening in the future. Not by any means of force, but by a show of force. And they took one look at that and they said, you know what? Actually, you're not expelled. And then my parents pulled me out of the school anyway. And I went to see psychiatrists and blah, 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 blah. I don't even remember most of that. But when I first started homeschooling, it was in elementary school for my 3rd grade year. Like, first few weeks, first month-ish, I went bowling for PE, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually dope as hell. But the issue is that because of, like, my flippancy with my schoolwork, I kind of got into the habit of, like, procrastinating and pretty much just watching YouTube all day. And, you know, throughout middle school, that's not, like, a problem per se, but the fact that I didn't have the habits was a bad thing. But when I got to high school, that is when it became a problem, because then I started needing to actually get credits. I got them, though. But I was never really able to keep myself in check. I kind of had to be pushed into it or forced into it. And honestly, sometimes, not always, I wonder if it was the right thing. Because not only did I end up having, like, to catch up on a lot of schoolwork because I had procrastinated so much, but then I also, I was limited to a very limited group of friends. There were friends that I did theater things with. There were friends from, you know, youth activities. And then there were friends from homeschooling. And there were no more friends. And that's kind of something that I don't say that I regret it, because I don't really have any regrets. These things don't keep me up at night. These things aren't even that consequential. The only twinge, little bit of regret that I feel when I think about this is that I probably am not romantically involved with anyone at the moment because of the fact that I didn't go to high school. Because I'm sure I could have found someone through high school. But my current friend group has a set, fixed number of girls. And of those fixed number of girls, there's the ones that are like family to me, which would be gross. There's the ones that I kind of was already into, and that's now completely gone. And then there's the ones that I actively dislike and don't want to be around. I say friend group because they're friends with some of my friends, but, like, I just, no. And of those 3 categories, let's find the number of eligible girls, or even people I'd even want to consider dating. Oh no. A circle. I'm just kidding. 0. And a part of me, now to be fair, it could be my immaculate Riz talking. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm a loser. But I feel like just a little bit, just a tiny, tiny little bit, that I might even have some options if I had gone to high school. Because that's like the biggest social pool you could possibly pull from. And college can be that for me when I do end up going. But I don't know. I guess I kind of just want to blame my loneliness on something. It's crippling. It's very sad. It's like puppies who are cutting onions and also orphans in the cold rain in the middle of the street with a semi approaching at 120. And also like 3 inches away, so you can't even do anything about it. You just have to watch them get pulverized into puppy stew. Stew because of the fact that there's blood. If there wasn't blood in the puppies, then they'd be vampire puppies and they'd survive. Anyway. Yeah. A lot of the things that I say kind of just circle back to loneliness and about how lonely I am, which kind of sucks. Wonder what I'm going to title this one. That's probably all for this one. Maybe I'll climb a tree for the next one. That's a maybe. I can't guarantee that. Fuck you.